Welcome to Scott Stadium. Please take a moment to familiarize yourself with the nearest exit location. In the event of an emergency, follow the instructions of the nearest usher.
To make your experience more enjoyable, there are air-conditioned cooling tents located at Westgate and Eastgate. Graduates may use the cooling tent located in the Bryant Hall garage.
Honored guests, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the singing of the National Anthem performed by Tina Hashemi. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. The President of the University, James E. Ryan.
Mr. Rector, member of the Board of Visitors, graduating students, colleagues, family, and friends, good morning and welcome. And a special welcome to those who are watching this ceremony on live stream. My name is Jim Ryan, and in addition to being president of UVA, I am the host for today's ceremony, and I have the honor to officially award the degrees. I have to say it's exciting to think that we are sharing a unique moment in UVA history. You are all graduating in Scott Stadium, and I am fulfilling a lifelong dream to be on the Jumbotron in the end zone of Scott Stadium with a football. This is my 5th touchdown in 3 days. I hope Coach Mendenhall is watching. I have 4 years of eligibility left as well. So I have to say I'm tempted to spike the football and do a little dance to celebrate all of you and this moment. I don't know about you, but I can't quite believe we made it to this point. In August or November or even in February, if you asked me if we would be together in person to celebrate final exercises, I would have said I had no clue. Actually, I probably would have said, and maybe did say in the midst of a brief but riveting 12-page email to the community, that we were planning to conduct final exercises in strict conformity with the rules, regulations, and guidance from the Center for Disease Control, the Virginia Department of Health, the Blue Ridge Health District, and that we would, along with our own medical experts, continue to monitor the situation, which translated back to English would have meant, I have no clue what we'll do. And yet here we are on this glorious day, and I couldn't be happier or more grateful to be here with all of you to celebrate your graduation. And if you feel the same way, please let us know. Today marks the end of our 192nd academic session. These final exercises are the university's most joyful occasion, at least since the men's basketball team won the national championship. We are here today to confer degrees on the candidates from the School of Law, the Darden School of Graduate Business Administration, okay, then I don't want to put a lot of pressure on this next school, and the McIntire School of Commerce. I appreciate your enthusiasm. Now, before we begin, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the lives lost and the people no longer with us because of the pandemic. I'd also like to recognize members of our leadership team who have retired or are taking on new roles. Pat Lampkin, Vice President for Student Affairs, Alan Groves, Dean of Students, Craig Benson, Dean of the School of Engineering, Isla Berman, Dean of the School of Architecture, Betsy Daly, Associate Vice President for State Government Relations and Special Assistant to the President, and David Wilkes, Dean of the School of Medicine. Each of these leaders has shaped the university in profound ways, and I am grateful to them for their service, and I ask that you join me in a round of applause to thank them. At all of the ceremonies, we've acknowledged student athletes who were competing that day and not able to join us. Today, we have just one, Beth Lilly, who is competing in the NCAA tournament for women's golf. Go, Beth. Our music today is provided by the U.S. Army Training and Doctrine Command Band under the direction of Treg Anchele. Please join me in giving them a round of applause, as well as a round of applause for the members of the Army ROTC who presented the colors. I would especially like to thank and congratulate all the parents and grandparents, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, family and friends in the audience today, whether here in person or watching online. Together, you have supported these graduating students in countless ways, including financially, emotionally, and gastronomically. You have helped pay tuition, you have offered encouragement, and you have fed them when they are home on break. Today is absolutely your day as well, which is why I would like to ask all the students to stand, turn toward the audience, and give a huge round of applause to those who helped you on this journey. I'd also like to thank the staff who worked hard all year during a remarkably challenging year and who have worked tirelessly to make graduation and this ceremony special for all involved. And I'd like to thank the faculty who have served not simply as teachers, but also as mentors and friends. Please join me in giving our faculty and staff a round of applause. And speaking of this year, so many people, including all of you, worked so hard during this extraordinary year to keep us both safe and moving forward that there are too many to name. But as these ceremonies come to a close, I'd like to take a very brief moment and offer a special thanks to two people on the platform today who some of you may not know, our Provost Liz McGill and our Chief Operating Officer J.J. Davis. They and their teams worked around the clock, day in and day out all year, literally, together with Dr. Kosi Sifri and Dr. Mitch Rosner from the medical school, who served as our medical and public health advisors. Liz, JJ, and their teams helped keep us safe and moving forward. This university will always be in their debt, and I'd ask them to stand so we can express our heartfelt thanks. Finally, and most importantly, congratulations to the class of 2021. I hope and trust you'll look back on your time here as among the most important, enjoyable, engaging, and transformative experiences of your lives. You are leaving this community stronger than you found it, and I have no doubt that you will make the world beyond UVA a better place as well. I'd also like to offer a personal thanks for your patience, for your strength, for your service, and for your leadership, especially this past year. I have seen this class step up in countless ways that have brought joy, support, and comfort to your classmates and to our entire community. For your selfless actions, your compassion, generosity, humor, and grace, which brought light to grounds even during our most challenging moments, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It has been a true privilege to serve as your president. I'll have a few more words to share with you at the end of the ceremony, but for now, let us begin this ancient and honorable ritual through which we shall recognize and welcome you into the company of superbly educated citizen leaders. Welcome.
The rector of the university, James B. Murray, Jr.
Good morning. On behalf of the board, congratulations. Above all else, first and foremost and for everlasting time, congratulations. Grand for you, grand for your parents, grand for your grandparents. Big day, day of your life. You won't get cake with this day each year, but it's important. This is the day when life got seriously interesting. Interesting, that is, in the sense that all unknowable things are interesting. You've had some interesting experiences here already. March 2020, and the world tells you, go inside, put on a mask, don't mingle, whatever you do, don't mingle. Things got interesting around my graduation day as well, but in a different way. 1968, April 4, Dr. King shot in Memphis. 4 days before our graduation, June 5, Bobby Kennedy shot in Los Angeles. 53 years ago, we had our own version of collective trauma, a war in Vietnam, a war in which many UVA graduates participated, whether they wanted to or not. So yes, life throws many curves, and you've learned that already, but it's all relative. On my graduation day, what did I have in my pocket? My truck keys and my pocket knife, I think. What do you have in your pocket? The world. In that little computer you're clutching, the whole messy world right there. And don't try looking at it right now. You don't need to text your cousin. That machine, that phone, that technology, like cars first appearing on dusty dirt roads and planes suddenly crossing the skies, has fundamentally changed life. You, as our first digitally native generation, you and the world are communicating continuously. Well, pass this message on. Time goes quick, quicker than ever, and you best manage it well. Years ago, there was a film with some dialogue written by Truman Capote, and one of the characters says, time, what is time? Time is a crook. Well, if time is a crook, technology has become an accessory to the crime. Make sound choices with your time. That's my best advice. I have more. Enjoy life, but fix a portion of your time for more learning. UVA helped get you to this point, but you cannot really stop anymore. There's no walking away. Not anymore. No walking away from new things. Things you'll need to know, to learn, to understand. The mobile digital world of social media, on-demand entertainment, and nonstop anxiety-driven news will continuously vie for your time the rest of your life. Which of you will succeed? Who will struggle? Those of you in graduate school already know this lesson. Those of you who manage your time, those with time discipline, you will come out ahead. Discipline, you ask, why not just declare victory today? No, that would rob you of opportunities, unprecedented opportunities. So spend your time with families. Get outdoors, have fun, fall in love, play, party, but keep learning. At some point, you may be tempted to stop what you're doing here, stop learning. Mistake. Don't do it, don't ever stop. Use the technical power you're inheriting, use technology for good. Seek new knowledge, always, then seek some more for the rest of your life. And finally, come back to Charlottesville. You'll be welcome here forever. Circle back, you must. Tell us things that you've seen, the glories of your life. Bring us new lessons, new knowledge. Come tell us some stories. And good luck with it all. Like war tripped up our classes of 50 years ago, COVID tripped you up a bit. No question, but we prevailed. More accurately, you have already prevailed. Given the strength you've gained, no class in UVA history has a greater future than you. Spend your time wisely, and you will own that future. My main duty today is to introduce our keynote speaker, and I'm honored to do so. Our speaker is best known outside of UVA for two big things: as the co-founder of Reddit and as Serena Williams' husband. But here at UVA, we know Alexis Ohanian as one of our most successful, influential, and engaged alumni. Alexis has 2 degrees from UVA in commerce and in history. In addition to Reddit, Ohanian co-founded an early-stage venture fund in 2016, Initialized Capital, and he is now launching a new fund called 776. As a venture capitalist myself, I hope we'll hear more about this. Ohanian describes himself as the son of an undocumented immigrant and as a business dad. He says that he wants to be known for making this world better, much better, and has advocated for federally mandated paid family leave and for dads to use that leave to take an active role in raising their children. He has a Business Dad podcast in which he interviews dads about their experience balancing families and careers. He and Serena have a daughter, Olympia, who's 3.5. One action Alexis took to make this world better: after the murder of George Floyd, he stepped down from the board of Reddit and encouraged Reddit to ban hate communities and replace him on the board with a black director, both of which they did. He has pledged his future earnings from Reddit to be used to serve the black community and to combat violence based on racially motivated hate. Starting with a $1 million donation to Know Your Rights Camp, founded by Colin Kaepernick. Ohanian is also the proud owner of the National Women's Soccer League's future LA team, Angel City FC, with, among other co-owners, actor Natalie Portman, his daughter Olympia, and our own Board of Visitors member, former UVA and U.S. national team star and 2-time Olympic gold medalist, Angela Huclis Mangano. Angela tells me that seat deposits for the 2022 Angel City season are now available. Please welcome Alexis Ohanian.
Thank you, Rector Murray. UVA graduating class of 2021, I am very excited to be here. And if I'm being honest, I barely got in here in the first place. And if it weren't for early decision applications and a retake of my SAT, I don't think I'd be a Wahoo. Fortunately, though, I was. And I was here on grounds during, I think it was my second year, when I walked out of an LSAT that I was taking in order to go get breakfast at Waffle House on 29. That place is amazing for waffles and epiphanies. You see, because while I was there in booth 19, I decided I probably shouldn't be a lawyer if I walked out of the LSAT, and instead, I should start a startup. So if it weren't for being hungry, I don't think I'd have ever started Reddit and wouldn't be here either. But luckily, 16 years ago, I was right where you are, hungover and waiting for a graduation speaker to get their commencement speech over with. I knew I was going to start a company, but even then I didn't know how it would work other than front page of the internet. and then I had a mascot, which I created while I was bored in a class at McIntire. True story. Very little in your life will make sense as it's happening. You'll kind of connect all these dots of meaning later when you look back on it. And spoiler alert, graduates, this day is not for you. It's really for the people who helped get you here. I didn't realize that until many years after my mom had died. But what I have now are the photos of her that day and how ridiculously proud she was. She had given up a career to overstay her work visa here in America because of love. She ended up with a GED and a son whom she always told could do anything. And she was so proud, you would have thought she was the one graduating here 16 years ago. I never could have guessed that she would have been diagnosed with terminal brain cancer just a few months into starting Reddit. But all of the very best parts of me and any of the good things that I've contributed to Reddit or anything, really, they're thanks to her. So take that time. Gosh, take that time to hug, take that time to appreciate every single person who helped get you here. All right? Do that. You will not regret it. Thank them. Tell them you love them. Really, really mean it, because you're going to have so many moments in your life that you won't be able to get back. And this is one of those really special ones. So that's an easy one. You're not going to regret that decision. There's some free advice. I guarantee you're going to appreciate it later. And it actually speaks to a bigger thing, which is those people and the experiences they had and you had with them. Those are the things that matter. And I got to learn this firsthand as a 21-year-old because my mom was faced with, a limited window. She knew how many years she had left, and those are the things that people care about when they face that end. So please invest in people and experiences. And, not a lot of people realize this. Actually, I don't think I've told anyone this. The Reddit alien started having these little doodles in the top corner. You see, my mom, she did her best to be supportive, even going through chemo and that really torturous process. And so whenever we'd talk on the phone, she'd have read Reddit, even though the content was really not anything she was into, to try to make conversation and just, share an interest in my work. So I wanted to make it a little easier on her. So I started drawing a fun doodle every morning in the logo. So like this little canvas of 120 by 40 pixels. I would just draw these doodles, kind of like how Google does for holidays. I would just do them for holidays, but also just for no reason every day. And it would be these adventures of like space travel or snowball fights. And I had this little canvas where I would spend 30 minutes a day drawing and creating. And it was very cathartic. It was really the only therapy that I got during those years. And it shouldn't have been, but it was. And it turned out what I was creating with those hundreds of designs was something that was really special for our users, for our community. I have countless people telling me how much they enjoyed coming to the site just to see how the alien snoo was doing. I've met dozens of people, like literally met dozens of people who have a tattoo of this creature that I created while I was a bored fourth year and that I brought to life just because I wanted to make my sick mom smile a little bit every day. And that experience, especially while so young and feeling so invulnerable, was just incredibly grounding for me. And it's something I've tried to carry as best I can. It's something that I hope to instill in my daughter now. People and experiences are the ones who matter. They are our Our family is that most basic atomic unit of community. And I didn't appreciate this until I was a father myself, but now I really understand how even from the earliest days, the people who are here supporting you have been thinking about this, have been looking forward to this, and feel so much fulfillment, more than you will understand until maybe one day, God willing, you get to be a parent yourself. And now as a father, I can only hope for many moments like the one that I cringed about at the time, 16 years ago, of my proud parent. But now I'm the proud parent who's, so excited about my own kids' triumphs. And, for instance, there's a really big deal around here the first time our daughter, Olympia, wrote her own name. And look, no offense, Olympia, but, you all graduated from the best university in the United States of America. Hell yeah, right? So that's a hell of an accomplishment. But I'm not going to talk to you as a CEO today. I'd like to talk to you as a history major, because, after all, I did declare it here my very first semester as a first year. And it's actually the reason my new company is called 776, which is the year of the first ancient Olympic Games. Thank you, Professor Lendon. Great class, ancient Greek history. And if you want to know what will happen next, study history, right? I'm in the business of technology and investing, but I'm not good at my job because I can predict the future. I'm good at my job because I can learn quickly from the past and the present in order to see where things are trending, in order to connect the dots between all the people and all the experiences that I see. And there have been two major cultural transformations in Western civilization, and both of them followed global pandemics. See where I'm going here? After the bubonic plague came the Renaissance. Kind of a big deal for Western culture and civilization. Then after the Spanish flu came the Roaring 20s. Radical cultural changes happened in America. Mass media, all kinds of things were being revolutionized. And then the party ended with the Great Depression, which helped Hitler convince Germans, and far too many Americans than we'd like to admit, that National Socialism was the solution. Remember, humans did that, all the good and all the bad. Let's learn from both so that we can do more good. And so if there's one thing I'd like to instill in all of you, it's that no one is perfect. I'm not perfect. Sorry to say, neither are you. But that's great. So we shouldn't lionize individuals or man-made institutions, because like the people that created them, they are all inherently flawed. Now, rainbows, they're perfect, especially double rainbows. We should continue to be in awe of rainbows. My daughter is really into rainbows right now. But everything else, a very imperfect human made that. And that's okay. Because that means another imperfect human like you has the power to make it better or replace it entirely. The sooner you start looking at the world this way, the sooner you will be in a position to radically change things, to improve things, to build better systems. Critically looking at things and criticizing them is a part of the process, but don't let that be where it ends. Start building better systems and use those observations to inform how you do it. Keep asking why. It's one of the greatest gifts of having a 3.5-year-old is getting asked endlessly why, because it challenges you as a parent to really think like, okay, why? That first principles thinking is one of the best things you can do. And look, if you find yourself in a situation where you can't make the changes needed, it's okay to walk away, because sometimes that can have an even bigger impact. I know that's true. Now look, after COVID, we will enter a third defining period of cultural transformation, and community will be what defines this era. Look, I know it's the Reddit guy talking about community, but hear me out, okay? Before social media and smartphones, civic engagement was plummeting. Community was on the decline. And if you haven't read Bowling Alone, you should. But something changed. Thanks to the democratization of the World Wide Web, people started communing again, even with other people they had never met before offline. People they'd never seen face to face. People they may only know through a username or an avatar. And people started bonding, falling in love, finding community. And it's happening online as much as it's happening offline. And I'd argue it's even stronger online, where you're able to be your truest self. So this is a very defining trend of this third wave. And I encourage you all to serve as the architects of this next period in our collective history. Okay, as someone who is at the forefront of building digital communities, I am intimately aware of the improvements that need to be made. And I feel a deep responsibility to your generation that we continue to pursue them. We have to do better. It is crucial we get this right. Because when the crash comes, and it will, we need to have a strong enough community, a strong enough nation to withstand it. History has shown us everything is trending toward a more fractured and tribal world right now. And your generation was the first to be truly digital native and grew up affected by all the things we got right and wrong with social media. Yeah, it's complicated. But you all have perspective that I will never have. And you have a full life ahead of you. Please don't squander it. We have such an amazing opportunity. This third cultural shift, this third renaissance, it's happening. Technology like the World Wide Web has enabled it. The framework is there. Probably is going to have something to do with crypto. But most importantly, we have a responsibility to do better, to be better, and to build these experiences that support the people who make our lives everything it is worth living. That's my hope. I hope all of you know everything is made up, except for the rainbows. Everything is made up. And that should be some of the most empowering and exciting news that you hear. Because there are a few universal truths, those people and those experiences. And there is going to be an amazing time over the next 10, 15, 20 years as we see what happens with this new technology, with the power of community, to hopefully create a lot more good. And I don't see any other path forward. We have to figure it out. We have to make it better for my daughter, for her entire generation, for all of us to be able to not just survive, but thrive together as a community, accepting the fact that we're all deeply flawed, but working to bring about the very best in each and every one of us. So, thank you. Really, from the bottom of my heart, UVA, I'm so grateful. I wish I could be here or there to do it in person, but thank you for giving this opportunity, and congratulations to UVA's graduating class of 2021. Well, Olympia, thank you for dressing up for this.
Thank you.
You look very nice.
Yeah.
So all the people Papa's talking to went to his university, the University of Virginia, the best university.
Oh.
One of the things that we say at UVA is wahoo wah. Can you give me a big wahoo wah?
Wah wah.
Let's try that again. Hold on. Wahoo wah.
Wahoo wah.
Hey, there we go, baby girl. Papa's so proud of you. Thank you for helping me with my commencement speech. Congratulations, class of 2021. You did it.
To the class of 2021, I am struck all the time by how much you have grown in your 3 years here at the law school. I still remember welcoming you here in the fall of 2018 and that first day of orientation in Kaplan Auditorium. I hope that you take some time as you graduate to look back to the beginning and to think to yourself how much you've grown, how much you've learned, and where you're headed now that maybe you couldn't have conceived of then.
Congratulations, class of 2021.
I'm so proud of you for achieving what I'm sure felt impossible at times, finishing law school and doing so in such unusual circumstances.
It might be easy to feel an almost hesitant joy. Just do me a favor and put that aside. You've succeeded in the face of adversity, just as you will continue to do so as lawyers.
I cannot wait to see the lawyers that you become, and it's an honor to share a degree with you.
Congratulations, class of 2021.
You've done a great job.
I hope that you're taking the time to congratulate yourselves and congratulate your classmates.
Between the moments celebrating with friends and family, I hope you take a minute and just think back on all the ways in which you have grown over the past 3 years. Cherish those memories as you look towards the future. I am so excited to see the lawyers that you soon will be.
Congrats, congrats, congrats.
Enjoy your legal profession. It is an amazing career.
Congratulations and best wishes.
So many congrats to you.
Please keep in touch. I wish you the best.
Wherever you go next, I hope you do so with pride, knowing all that you've achieved and remembering where you came from.
I'll hope to see you all soon, and until then, wahoo wah.
The Dean of the School of Law, Risa Golubov.
Hello. Welcome to the graduates of the Law School, the Darden School, and the McIntire School classes of 2021, families, friends, and loved ones. It is only fitting that we should be graduating you in a football stadium. That was not the plan from the beginning, of course, but it seems utterly appropriate. A stadium is where star athletes who have honed their skill, stamina, and grit for months at a time, for years at a time, come to be recognized and cheered on. It is where rock stars come to play. It is where many come to celebrate the accomplishments of the few, and where broadcast allows for those not present to be celebrated and celebrate as well. All of that is true today as it is on other days. We celebrate the skill, stamina, and grit you have shown over the past several years, and especially the past 15 months. You are all star athletes and rock stars who deserve, and no doubt are receiving, the adoration of the fans in this stadium, as well as those watching from home. Now let me say a bit more about the skill, stamina, and grit of those I know best in this audience today, the law graduates here and watching from home. Go ahead, you didn't get a chance. We didn't know it was a competition before. Go ahead, law school, go. We are just as competitive. We just didn't know. Okay, so let me say a bit more about our stamina. Law school is never easy. Indeed, its rigor and intensity is the stuff of legends, which makes you all, who have now run the gauntlet, legendary. You immersed yourselves in this complex new field. You were vulnerable with your ideas, allowing them to be tested time and again. You read thousands of pages, mastered a new vocabulary, answered innumerable cold calls, wrote papers, deciphered fact patterns. You spent hundreds of hours in clinics, externships, moot courts, pro bono projects, and mock trials. And you used the hard-earned skills you got from all of that to advise nonprofits and entrepreneurs, to prepare patent applications and parole petitions, and to brief and argue cases in sign language, no less, and even to the Supreme Court of the United States. On top of all that, these past 15 months, you had to learn anew on Zoom and in hybrid classes. You had to abide by protocols and rules, take care of your own health, both physical and mental, and that of your loved ones, and you experienced losses big and small. And beyond the challenges of law school itself, you have been tested, as our society and the law has been tested over and over again, by a pandemic and the sweeping changes it has imposed, by a national reckoning on race, racism, and inequity, by contentious politics and contentious elections, and by violence far and near. Throughout it all, you showed yourselves to be smart and resilient, passionate and rigorous, committed to learning and to kindness. You were models of engaged citizenship, reasoned debate, and the search for truth within a community of respect and empathy. You are models not only for this law school or any law school, but for our profession and our nation. The openness, generosity, and intellectual curiosity you have displayed is a gift you have given to yourselves, the law school, and each other. So what is all that, if not stamina and grit leading to skill? And what does that make you, if not stars to be adored in a stadium and on a big screen? Now, of course, when I call you rock stars and star athletes, I'm speaking metaphorically, and I want to talk, at least briefly, literally, what that makes you. What today, this rite of passage, this graduation makes you. Lawyers. Which means, returning to my metaphors, that you are not only stars, but superheroes. Powerful beings with knowledge, skill, and yes, literal power that is truly extraordinary. I just mentioned in the film the first time we met at orientation. Well, you probably don't remember much of what I said then, so I thought I would remind you. Because it was important to say it then as you began this law school adventure, and it's important to say it now as you begin the new phase of your careers. The law is a powerful thing. It unlocks doors and enforces contracts. It puts people in prison and gets them out again. It ends wars and allows for treaties. It merges companies and allows them to go bankrupt. I hope that you have seen and come to agree with me that the law is not a constant external foreign thing that exists out there in some vacuum. It is made, not found, and it is made by lawyers, and now it will be made by you. Never underestimate the difference that you, yes, each of you, specifically I'm looking out at you all across the field where you're all sitting, that you are both responsible for and capable of. We have all seen during the last months and years just how big the challenges are facing this nation and the world, just how much the law can be an instrument of change, and just how critical lawyers are in our constant search to build the more perfect union that we have always strived to be. Your legal education is the key to the kingdom in a society committed to the rule of law, and it is the key to your superpowers. Bringing together all the many metaphors that I have managed to fit into this very short speech, through stamina, grit, and skill, and because you are rock stars and star athletes, each of you has cast your own set of transformative keys. So I urge you, be ambitious, thoughtful, generous, and humane with the keys you now hold to our kingdom. Use them for justice, for freedom, for democracy, and for the rule of law. Use them to shape our legal system, and in a truly grand fashion, to shape our government, our economy, our society, and our world. As you leave here today, know that graduating in this stadium might have begun as a contingency plan, but it turned out to be such a fitting tribute to you, holders of the keys to this kingdom, stars and superheroes all. Congratulations to the class of 2021. I am delighted now to recognize some of those who have contributed so much to the law school and our society over the past 3 years. We're honored to have had these graduates as members of our community. If you hear your name called, I ask you to stand and remain standing, and please, everyone, hold your applause until I've announced all of today's winners. I say that every year, but especially when we're sharing the stage and the sun with so many people, we want to be considerate. So we will have a chance to clap at the end. This year's Virginia State Bar Family Law Award, presented to the graduating student who has demonstrated the most promise and potential for the practice of family law, goes to Eliza I. Schultz. Hold your applause. Thank you. Okay. The Virginia Trial Lawyers Association Trial Advocacy Award is presented to a graduate who shows particular promise in the field of trial advocacy and who intends to take the Virginia bar, Anna Catherine Cox. The Eppa Hutton IV Memorial Book Award is presented to a graduate who demonstrates unusual aptitude in litigation courses and who shows a keen awareness and understanding of the lawyer's ethical and professional responsibility. This year's winner is Gia Scala Nias. The John M. Olin Prize in Law and Economics is presented by vote of the faculty to a student who has produced outstanding written work in the field of law and economics. Tao Ray Gwen receives the Llm Prize for his paper, Property Rights and Involuntary Contracting. You guys learn so fast, I'm really impressed. The Earl K. Shaw Labor Relations Award, which is presented to the graduate who shows the greatest promise in the field of labor relations, is already standing, Eliza I. Schultz. The Edward S. Cohen Tax Prize is presented to the graduate who has demonstrated superior scholarship in the tax field, Michael B. Shelton. The Mortimer Kaplan Public Service Award, presented to a graduate entering a career in the public service sector who demonstrates the qualities of leadership, integrity, and service to others, goes to Sarah Elaine Wendell. The Pro Bono Award, given to the graduate who contributed the most to the law school's pro bono program, goes to Colleen Christina Gladden. The Herbert Kramer Herbert Bangle Community Service Award is presented to the graduate who has contributed the most to the community during his or her time in law school, Noreen Riza. The Roger and Madeline Trainer Prize is presented by vote of the faculty to 2 graduates who have produced outstanding work. Mark Damian Duda II receives the award for his paper From Oaths to Examinations, Regulating Witness Testimony in the English Criminal Trial, 1674 to 1800, and Arjun Pushkar Ogali also receives the Trainer Prize for his paper Vagueness and Non-Delegation. The Llm Graduation Award is presented by vote of the faculty to an outstanding member of the graduating LLM class. This year we have 2 winners, Chungtsing Tien and Kushin Yuan. This year's Robert E. Goldston Award for Distinction in the Classroom, presented by a vote of the faculty to the graduate who has contributed the most to classroom education by his or her outstanding recitation and discussion, goes to Mihir Ketterpal. The Z Society Edgar F. Shannon Award is presented to the graduate with the highest academic record after 5 semesters, Avery Clara Rasmussen. This year's Thomas Marshall Miller Prize, which is presented by vote of the faculty to an outstanding and deserving member of the graduation class, also goes to Avery Clara Rasmussen. The James C. Slaughter Honor Award is presented by vote of the faculty to an outstanding member of the graduating class, Juliette Busing Clark. And finally, the Margaret G. Hyde Award is presented by vote of the faculty to the graduate whose scholarship, character, personality, activities in the affairs of the law school, and promise of achievement have entitled him or her to special recognition. This year's winner is Catherine M. Janes. Please join me in congratulating all of our award winners. Congratulations again to the class of 2021. I could not be more proud.
Dear class of 2021, you've done it.
You completed a transformational experience unlike any before you. What a ride!
Little did you know that you'd have to overcome more adversity than any class before you.
Little did you know that this past year I was hanging onto the bumper right beside you.
Little did you know that you could earn your MBA while sitting in front of a computer, dressed in your pajamas.
This past year was tough, but you are tougher.
We have watched you fight, struggle, fight some more, persevere, bond, and find happiness in a pretty dark hour.
And we've watched you roll with the punches and still find ways to have fun.
We have watched you conquer electives and Zoom at the same time.
We have watched you ask, what is in your heart? And slow down to be truly present for the answers.
We watched you deal with all manner of change during this period, and we're watching you leave ready to change the world.
Finally, we are all here together at last. We are so proud of you.
We are confident that you have what it takes to find purpose and inspire others.
To choose a path that will make the world a better place for everyone.
To make sure that assets are always equal to liabilities plus owner's equity.
Now you know that all your limits and comfort zones are so easy to expand. All you need is some imagination and great friends to help you on the journey.
You are purpose-driven leaders, ready to improve the world.
As your journey continues, don't forget to bet on yourself.
Know that everything you've been through bonds you and makes you stronger forever.
Don't forget to look forward. Lean into whatever comes your way. Because life's too short to second guess.
All the good stuff is in the footnotes. Your program lasted 2 years, but your relationships are for a lifetime.
You are part of the Darden family forever.
Never forget, Darden will always be home. Keep in touch. Visit.
All our best. Congratulations.
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 Congratulations, class of 2021. You did it.
Wahoo wah!
The Dean of the Darden Graduate School of Business Administration, Scott C. Beardsley.
Thank you. I'm Darden's Dean, Scott Beardsley, and I would like to congratulate all of you. And in particular, for the Darden class of 2021, I would like to pile on to what the faculty said to offer my most sincere congratulations. Let's hear it for Darden. Woo! In the Darden tradition, I must start my remarks with a cold call. The question is for all of you graduates from Darden Law and McIntire, including the McIntire undergraduates who we hope someday will come join us in North Grounds. It's even for your parents and loved ones, any of you online. And here's my question. Most of us today have with us a smartphone. How many of you woke up with your smartphone today? Let me see it. Very high number. And how many of you feel that you spend too much time on the screen or on your smartphone? I'd say a vast majority. I feel the same way. So you might ask, Scott, what the heck are you doing talking to us about smartphones at graduation? Well, there's several reasons. Screen time around the world has skyrocketed as we worked to remain connected, though physically distanced. And technology is changing quickly the future of your work. Another reason is that someday, I don't know when, you might get a special call on your smartphone. It might be the world calling. And when it does, how will you respond? Will you accept or decline the call? This call will be one of the most important of your lifetime. This call will ask you, Darden graduates, as responsible leaders, to act on your values and dreams and to play your part in helping change the world responsibly. This call could be serendipity knocking, a beautiful new relationship, a chance to learn. Are you open to something new and unexpected that was not part of the plan? This call might ask you to step up, to see in tomorrow's problems the opportunity to make a difference. It will likely require courage and making hard decisions with imprecise information. In fact, it just might be your higher calling. The core values you have learned at Darden and at UVA will guide you. Here you have learned honor and integrity. Your business ethics classes have taught you that business and society belong in the same sentence and the importance of all stakeholders. You have met new people and you've learned new things. But when that phone rings, follow your heart and let your values guide you. Build real relationships with people you can learn from. Pursue your purpose and say yes to meaningful work that fulfills you. We have learned a lot over this past year. You have endured and are prepared after this for almost anything. You have worked very hard to make it to this day. Darden graduates, you are now alumni of the Darden School of Business, and your network of over 17,000 alumni across 90 countries welcomes you. The world, even the unknown, is calling. If you find the uncertainty of it all stressful, please look at the Darden Graduation webpage, and I've written something special for you about managing uncertainty. But in the meantime, your faculty and I know that you are well prepared to embrace the unknown and to press accept. My sincere, heartfelt congratulations to you all, to your families and loved ones around the world on your incredible achievement. And it's now time for Darden Student Awards, and it's my pleasure to introduce Senior Associate Dean Tom Steenberg. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dean Beardsley. Last fall, the Darden School bestowed several honors. Will the student recipients please stand as I note the following 3 awards? And if the audience will bear with me, please hold your applause until the recipients for all 3 awards are standing. Last fall, Darden awarded the Samuel Forrest Hyde Memorial Fellowship, the G. Robert Strauss Marketing Award, and the William Michael Sherman Award. Will the recipients please stand? These recipients embody leadership, determination, strength of spirit, and fortitude in the classroom. Please join me in recognizing these outstanding students with a round of applause. Thank you. You may be seated. Now let me turn it over to my dear friend, who is also a faculty marshal for the full-time MBA program, Llm Graduation.
Thank you, Tom. It is my privilege to recognize students for several more honors today. Will the students please stand as I note the following 3 awards, after which we will applaud them. In an end-of-year capstone event 2 weeks ago, and a surprise gathering for a more recently announced award, Darden awarded the Frederick S. Morton Leadership Award, the Edgar F. Shannon Award, and the C. Stewart Shepard Distinguished Service Award. These awards are bestowed on students whose contributions to the Darden School are truly exceptional and whose lasting legacies will be felt for years beyond their graduation. Please join me in recognizing these exemplary students. Thank you all, and please be seated. Let me now turn it over to my wonderful colleague, Faculty Marshal for the Executive Format MBA program, Shane Cauley.
Thank you, Llm. It is my distinguished honour to further recognise our high-achieving students. Will the student recipients please stand as I note the following 2 awards? Please hold your applause until all recipients are standing, as we have multiple students to celebrate. Today, Darden awards the Executive MBA Faculty Award and the Faculty Award for Academic Excellence. These are individuals who have achieved GPAs in the top 10% of their graduating class, or those who made positive, supportive and meaningful classroom contributions. These honours were bestowed to students who demonstrated an unrivalled commitment to their academic performance. We salute and appreciate all their hard work. Please join me in recognising these superlative students. Thank you and congratulations to all our award winners, and thank you to all class of 2021 Darden graduates for your patience, goodwill and incredible contributions to the community this past year. We are so proud of you and are all excited to see what you will do next. Thank you.
Good morning, graduates and families. Normally, I would be with you in the stadium, but restrictions make that impossible. So I'm here on the lawn, and on behalf of the McIntire faculty, let me say to the class of 2021 how proud we are of what you have been able to accomplish. Though none of us would have chosen to go through this pandemic, I would argue that your education is even greater because of it. We've all learned a lot.
So you've learned that business is a balance between all the disciplines, from finance and marketing to communication and IT, and of course the law. And this year, we've all seen just how important balance can be.
We've seen that technology is here to stay, but still, what you do with it, that matters.
You've learned as graduating who's that whether you're presenting face-to-face or virtually, you have the skills and the experience to set yourself apart. And hopefully, you've also learned that sweatpants only count as business attire on Zoom.
I was muted, wasn't I? Of course I was. We've learned that we're all in this together, that mistakes happen, and that patience with each other makes us better colleagues and nicer people.
You've developed a solid foundation to help you to successfully navigate the world of business. You've also learned when to leave your camera off during Zoom meetings, lunch meetings.
You've proven, as America's greatest living poet Jimmy Buffett once said, that you can roll with the punches, play all of your hunches, and make the best of whatever comes your way. And now, to honor our graduates, I'd like to sing my favorite Buffett tune. For all of the parrot heads out there, this is for you.
Congratulations to all of our graduates, and best of luck. You'll find that being a McIntire grad is a lifelong relationship that continues throughout your career. I know I wouldn't have missed being here with you today.
Oops. Sorry.
You can edit that out, right?
What'd you think of that?
The Dean of the McIntire School of Commerce, Nicole Thorne Jenkins.
Good morning, graduates. You look good out there. And lucky for you, we're getting down to it. In less than 30 minutes, you will officially be graduated. Hello to all the family, friends, and loved ones who are joining us here on grounds and from around the world. I'm so happy that you're here to celebrate with us. I am Nicole Thorne Jenkins, the Dean of the McIntire School of Commerce, and I joined UVA in the summer of 2020. And if you can believe it, this is my first official in-person event. Finally, the Com School, or the School of Commerce, let's just stop there. Before we go any further, let me say that people don't quite know or remember that they know the definition of commerce. And this is not surprising. Commerce is an old word, one that has more often been replaced with business in the American lexicon. After all, we are an old school. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that McIntire is celebrating its centennial anniversary this year. And so during the last year, you can imagine, I've heard the word commerce more times than I can count. Every phone call, every meeting, and even around my own dinner table. Yet one thing is certain, ideas about commerce differ greatly from person to person and situation to situation. But I keep coming back to a single meaning that I hope all of our esteemed commerce graduates will consider as a lifelong guidepost. Commerce is the purposeful exchange of goods, services, and ideas to strengthen and advance society. While commerce can be limited to a single transaction, we in the Comm School take a much broader view. Commerce consists of the whole philosophy of exchange. Of course, our graduates have come to understand what this means. I would argue that by now, it is in your decision-making DNA. You now know in your minds and in your hearts how every transaction in the global marketplace takes into account people, places, profit, power, and purpose. In choosing a path within the School of Commerce, I believe that all of you have committed to traversing your personal and professional lives within the intersection of business and society. Whether the paradigm through which you approach the exchange of goods, services, and ideas is accounting, analytics, entrepreneurship, finance, management, marketing, technology, or any combination of those, you have learned that it is through commerce that countries and communities balance economic growth, create job opportunities, and most importantly, improve the standard of living for real people. You have come to understand that crafting of a conscientious transaction has the power to create transformational marketplaces, ones that remove barriers and open up opportunities. Quite simply, you have learned to become hands-on, highly engaged business leaders who recognize and assume responsibility for your capacity to use commerce for the common good. That is no simple charge. In fact, it is by far the grandest challenge that we as a School of Commerce can ask our graduates to address. I believe that how we view ourselves and the world around us is a big determinant of our ability to achieve personal goals. At the same time, working hard to leverage critical thinking skills, to understand the perspectives of others, allows us to find common ground, which leads to shared victories. I know, McIntire graduates, that through your coursework and your interaction with your faculty, you have learned the nuances of how to have hard conversations with clients, when to let data inform decision-making, and how, most importantly, the thing that you can do when you're on a team is to listen and connect. And now to all of today's graduates. Maybe you will leave these grounds and start a new venture, or take the helm of some good organization and make it great. Or maybe you will start slowly and work your way up within a firm. No matter what you choose to do, I am assured that you are part of an emerging workforce that will be like no other in history. As we reflect on the past year and prepare for what lies ahead, I acknowledge that what you've witnessed and endured will most certainly complicate your futures. But like many generations that have come before, these events will unleash unimaginable disruptions, leading to a sustained period of transformation, which will ultimately catapult you into becoming one of the greatest generations of all time. I believe that you stand ready for a moment such as this, prepared to reach into the reservoir of your resilience, developed over one of the worst years in a century, and move business and society forward toward the common good. Because after all is said and done, when everything we know has been upended, commerce continues. Congratulations, class of 2021. I cannot wait to see what you accomplish. Now I'm pleased to introduce McIntyre's Associate Dean for Graduate Programs, Amanda Cowan, who will begin our awards.
Thank you, Dean Jenkins. It is my pleasure to recognize several graduates who have distinguished themselves during their time at the McIntire School. Full descriptions of today's presented awards are featured on the McIntire School of Commerce website. Please hold your applause until the end of our awards presentation. This year's Federation of Schools of Accountancy Student Achievement Award is presented to Clesson Allman, Jr. The David W. Thompson Award in Accounting is presented to Jocelyn Kelly. The National Association of Accountants Carmen G. Blau Award is presented to Bonnie Zhang. This year's George Wasserman Distinguished Award in Marketing is presented to Caroline Berta. The William F. Odell Distinguished Award in Marketing is presented to Aaron Cohen. The Henry R. Odell Distinguished Award in Management is presented to Nadim Najjar. This year's Joseph Goldston Distinguished Award in Finance is presented to Megan Bruce. The MSMIT Award for Excellence in Leadership and Technology is presented to Erica Lee Elliston, Arun Gambhir, and Catherine Lee. The Center for the Management of Information Technology Emerging Leader in IT Award is presented to Sebastian Heinonen. The F. Evans Farwell Distinguished Achievement Award is presented to Erica Kim. I am now pleased to introduce McIntyre's Associate Dean for the Undergraduate Program, David Lehman, to continue the awards presentation. Again, please hold your applause until all the awardees are named.
Thank you, Professor Cowan. It's my pleasure to recognize several of our undergraduates who have distinguished themselves during their time at the McIntire School. The Global Commerce Scholars are a select group of students who pursued a deeper understanding of the global context of business. This year's scholars are Samuel Lissner, Kevin Miner, and Jackson Murphy. The Lennox Conningham Scholarship is a full scholarship offered to graduating McIntire students toward the completion of a one-year Master of Philosophy program at the University of Cambridge. The Schaefer Foundation has selected Alexandra Hartwig and Kevin Miner. On behalf of the Z Society, I would also like to present the Edgar F. Shannon Award for the McIntire School of Commerce. The Z Society Shannon Award recognizes an exemplary graduating student from each school within the university, and this year's recipient is Jeannie Hirsch. As many of you know, the university has many secret societies, and the Order of the Claw and Dagger is focused on the Commerce School. The Order asked us to read the following statement. The Order of Claw and Dagger is dedicated to the betterment of the McIntire School of Commerce, its students and its alumni, in all of their endeavors. For its 15th annual Faculty Recognition Award, the Order recognizes A.J. Tony Baglioni. Professor Baglioni has left an indelible mark on McIntire and his students in two ways: outstanding teaching and unwavering support in the wake of challenging, uncertain times. The Order commends Professor Baglioni, who we know will continue to leave a mark on students and the McIntire community for many years to come. In addition, the Order of the Claw and Dagger lauds the graduating McIntire class of 2021, and in particular, the Order honors the following students for exemplifying the tenets of honor, excellence, and humility: Leon Afework, Jonathan Ahern, Alvaro Calleja Palacios, Aaron Cohen, Victoria Estacio, Maya Ford, Jocelyn Ann Hong, Ben Kirkpatrick, Thomas O'Farrell, Augustina Stefani, Ishan Veen, Alexandra Zuber. In addition, throughout the school year, the honor has ordered to honor the following students each month for these same tenets: Tarun Garg, Kara Guo, Andrew Hufford, and Ishan Singham. So congratulations to Professor Baglioni, these students, and a special thanks to the order, whoever you may be. The McIntire School of Commerce Award winners, please stand so that we may recognize you, and let's give a round of applause to this year's winners. Congratulations and congrats to the class of 2021.
Please turn your attention to the screens for a special reading by Rita Dove, the Henry Hoynes Professor of Creative Writing and a former U.S. Poet Laureate.
After these final exercises have concluded, upon graduation, some of you will be headed home from your temporary academic shelter here at the University of Virginia. Many may already be at home watching the ceremonies via Zoom, while still others are off to new adventures, ready to make new homes along the way. No matter whether you are coming home, staying home, or preparing to leave wherever or whatever home is, this poem is for all of you. Congratulations, class of 2021. My mother phones to tell me it's time for planting. My father has built a bed, nothing fancy, mind you. Wooden planks painted yellow. That's nice, I reply, dipping my brights as I slow for a curve. And since it's your flower, she goes on, it seems the least you ought to do is come home and plant it yourself. Home, I say, marveling. Back, she amends. I break for a deer, one of the many who ravage seedlings in our neighborhood. Silent marauders by moonlight, crowding the edge of the road as if to declare this was our home once, and we'll eat anything we please. All right, I tell her, I'm on my way. I strike out the calendar, pack sweaters and music, snacks and a thermos for the drive home. 8 hours backwards into autumn, where my father stands in a baseball cap, arms crossed, surveying his handiwork. A picture frame set in the dirt, I think, kissing his cheek as I take the trowel and get down on my bad knee to dig. Not too wide, he says, but make it deep, 4 to 6 inches. The bulb is hairy, wizened like a baby chick. I place it beak first into its new home, gently spooning the earth back in, like the last child at the beach who lingers as the day cools, wanting to leave everything as she found it, patting the sand down, making it right.
The President of the University.
Okay, it's about that time. Who's ready to graduate? Before we confer degrees, I'd like to recognize the nearly 600 students who are the first in their families to graduate this weekend. As a fellow first-generation student, I'd like to say how delighted I am for all of you and how much I admire your accomplishments. Can everyone please give a round of applause to our first-generation students and those in the audience who have helped them. Over the course of this weekend and 5 ceremonies, we have awarded or will award to the class of 2021 4,505 baccalaureate degrees, 467 first professional degrees, 2,522 graduate degrees, including 306 PhDs, 10 EDDs, 2,183 master's degrees, 3 education specialist degrees, 17 Doctor of Nursing practice degrees, and 3 Doctors of Juridical Sciences degrees. The deans of the schools here today will present the candidates for degrees. Then, under the authority vested in the general faculty and delegated to me, I will award the degrees.
Dean of the School of Law.
The candidates for the degree of Doctor of Juridical Science, Master of Laws, or Juris Doctor will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, as Dean of the School of Law, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Juridical Science, Master of Laws, or Juris Doctor.
I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Juridical Science, Master of Laws, or Juris Doctor, with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. And I charge you to use your training and knowledge to promote and preserve individual liberties, freedom, and justice in this country and around the world. Congratulations.
The graduates of the School of Law will please be seated. Congratulations.
The Dean of the Darden Graduate School of Business Administration.
Candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Business Administration or Master of Business Administration will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, as Dean of the Darden Graduate School of Business Administration, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Business Administration or Master of Business Administration.
I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Business Administration or Master of Business Administration, with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. And I charge you to bring innovation, an entrepreneurial spirit, and a commitment to equity and integrity to your leadership in this nation and the world. Congratulations.
The graduates of the Darden Graduate School of Business Administration will please be seated. Congratulations.
The Dean of the McIntire School of Commerce.
The candidates for the degree of Master in Science or Bachelor of Science in Commerce will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, as Dean of the McIntire School of Commerce, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Science or Bachelor of Science in Commerce.
I confer upon you the degree of Master of Science or Bachelor of Science in Commerce, with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. And I charge you to use your knowledge and skills to help organizations create value and use their resources for the benefit of citizens throughout the world. Congratulations.
The graduates of the McIntire School of Commerce will please be seated.
Please turn your attention to the screens for a special musical performance.
What's up, graduating class of 2021 at the University of Virginia? This is Brandy Carlisle, and I just wanted to drop in on your graduation ceremony and say that to graduate in such a challenging and tough, crazy, just ridiculous year is such an accomplishment, and I'm really happy for y'all. And so I want to sing you a song. You're feeling nervous, aren't you, boy? With your quiet voice and impeccable style. Don't ever let them steal your joy and your gentle ways to keep them from running wild. They can kick dirt in your face, dress you down and tell you that your place is in the middle when they hate the way you shine. I see you tugging on your shirt, trying to hide inside of it and hide how much it hurts. You let them laugh while they can, let them spin, let them scatter in the wind. I've been to the movies, I've seen evidence, and the joke's on them. Yeah. You get discouraged, don't you, girl? It is your brother's world for a while longer. You gotta dance with the devil on a river to beat the stream. I call it living the dream, call it kicking the ladder. They come to kick dirt in your face, to call you weak and then displace you after carrying your baby on your back across the desert. I see your eyes behind your hair, and you're looking tired, but you don't look scared. You let them laugh while they can, let them spin, let them scatter in the wind. I have been to the movies, I've seen evidence, and the joke's on them. You let them laugh while they can, let them spin, let them scatter in the wind. I have been to the movies, I've seen evidence, and the joke's on. All the jokes on them. Yeah, it is. Well, we know it is. Graduating class of 2021. Congratulations.
And now we'll hear remarks from Patricia K. Epps, the chair of the University of Virginia Alumni Association Board of Managers. So please turn your attention to the screens.
Greetings to the extraordinary class of 2021. I'm Patricia Epps, and I'm chairman of the board of the University of Virginia Alumni Association, and a triple who. It is my privilege to be among the first to welcome you as alumni of this great university. As of today, you are members of our 183-year-old organization, made up of over 250,000 proud UVA grads worldwide. We are a community that is excited to welcome and support you. My own connection with UVA goes back 50 years ago, when I was a first-year student in the college. 1970-71 was also a unique and challenging school year because it was the first year that UVA opened its undergraduate schools to women. For me, it was the start of a lifelong connection to this very special place. I hope you will have the same experience. Wherever your careers and lives may take you, you always have a home at Alumni Hall. I hope you'll come back for reunions, keep up through the Virginia Magazine, and stay connected by taking advantage of the many opportunities offered by the university and its organizations. I also hope that you continue to connect with and take care of each other. If history is a guide, then the relationships formed with your fellow alumni will be cherished, lasting, and even life-changing. As a token of our congratulations, we have a class of 2021 keepsake print for you to pick up as you leave Scott Stadium. It also makes a great stand-in diploma for all those photos you're going to be taking this weekend. On behalf of the entire UVA alumni community, congratulations, class of 2021, and wahoo wah.
The President of the University.
I know this is getting old for all of you, but I promise this is the last time you're going to see me. I want to begin by echoing what Ms. Epps just said, which is that we are incredibly fortunate, as you may already know, to have a strong and tight-knit community of alumni whose time on grounds profoundly shaped their lives. And I'm grateful that so many of those alumni have done so much to give others the same experience. Those of you graduating today have benefited from the generosity of alumni, parents, and friends in ways large and small. And I'd like to thank all of you who have joined this tradition through your class gift. And while I'm offering thanks, I'd like to thank our Grand Marshal, Professor Beth Meyer, who served and led us through 7 ceremonies over the last 2 weekends. I'd also like to thank all of our performers and speakers. A special thank to our rector, Jim Murray, who also has led our procession and spoken at all 7 ceremonies. And a special thank you to Alexis and Olympia for reminding us that we are all whos. So one quick housekeeping item before we conclude, and that is that graduates should please stay at your seats until after the platform party has exited the field, and then please use the tunnels to exit. So I recognize that at this point I am the only person keeping you from celebrating with your family and friends, which is why I'd like to spend the next 45 minutes or so talking about our global challenges and how your time has prepared you to meet them. Oh, come on, it's going to be a great speech. Actually, I'd like to leave you with one simple request, which is to remember what happened here. When I say that, I'm not just talking about remembering a specific class or an event that happened, although I hope you'll remember them. Instead, I'd like you to remember the feeling of being here, in this place, with these people, and carry it with you. Remember what it felt like to be surrounded by a diverse group of fellow students who were as compassionate as they were talented. Remember what it felt like to explore in ways you never had before, and to learn from professors who loved a subject so much you couldn't help but get excited about it too. Remember what it felt like to live and learn in Jefferson's academical village in a community of honor and trust. Remember what it felt like to live with your friends, talking late into the night and sharing stories you had never shared with anyone before. Remember what it felt like to build bridges, reaching out to get to know someone or someplace different, and how it ended up changing you. Remember how it felt to serve others, and the satisfaction that came from devoting your time and energy to something bigger than yourself. Remember how it felt the first time you realized that in streaking, as in life, it's important to leave enough gas in the tank for the return trip. If you remember all of this, I have no doubt that you will carry with you the very best of this place as you face with courage and purpose the road ahead, which will be, at various turns, beautiful, tragic, joyous, challenging, and magical. And should that road ever lead you back to Charlottesville, and I hope it will, please know that we will leave the lights on for you. Finally, I hope you remember the words to this song, which you are about to sing for the very first time as graduates of the University of Virginia, accompanied by a fellow alum. Congratulations again, class of 2021.
Hey, you crazy who's, class of 2021. What a year. Good Lord. But you made it. And I am so proud of each and every one of you. And I cannot wait to see what you put out into this reopened world of ours. You know, graduation reminds me of when I graduated from UVA back in That weekend, my car actually got towed because I parked it in the president's spot on the lawn. So don't do that, but also don't worry because it all worked out. So let's bring this puppy home with a rendition of the good old song, one of the most often requested songs that I get. So here we go. Join me, will you?